We're on section 291, and we should finish this today. And we didn't have class last week, but we're going to start here now. And this is a lengthy reading all the way down to the period down here. Benjamin, can you read that for us and translate it for us?
Yeah, sure thing. Egenita de te exes hemera katelthonton auton hapa to not hapa to orus sunentesen auto oklos. It came to pass the 6th day, they were coming down from the mountain. They met a crowd.
From the mountain, and they met a crowd. Okay. All right. Is that how did you translate it? Anything different there, Bobby? This doesn't read exactly like Luke 9, does it? Because the 6th day is, all right, that's a different, okay. But Bobby, did you get any different translation on that? Bobby, can you hear me? Is he still on?
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And it took place on the 6th day when they, having gone down from the mountain, a large crowd met them. Met him.
Okay. Orogenesis. See the word orus? Orogenesis is the beginning of mountains. The atheist has a big problem explaining how mountains were created, but that's not part of our Greek. That's part of my flood class. All right. And so Oros is mountain. Okay, it came down from the mountain. Okay. Let's see. James, can you start there and go down to where my cursor is? Can you see where the cursor is?
No, I see the Chi. And how far do you want me to go? Oh, leg on? Okay, we'll do. Kai idu aner apotu oklu ebo esen legon. And I have, and behold, a man from the crowd cried out saying.
Okay, cried out saying. So we'll pick up there and go from there down to there, if you will, Bobby. Can you take that?
Yes, sir. Didaskale deomai sun epi lipse epi ton huion mu hote monogenes moe estin. Teacher, I ask you to look upon my son, for he is my only child.
Okay. It's the only begotten of me. The only begotten child. Okay.
Would you put only begotten? That'd be right.
It's only begotten. That's how it's translated, but it's
Yeah.
term only begotten. There's a whole bunch of arguments about that, but let me check this. It's a completely different word, and I think it's a special term, and when it's used, it's an only child, only begotten son. Jesus called the only begotten son, and we can say, well, Adam was the son of God in a sense, and it's called that, but there's a special sense with Jesus is the only begotten, and I think it means he's deity is what I think it means.
Yeah.
That's the way I interpret it. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but it's just a special term, and I don't think you can just translate it the only son. All right. And they translated it as only, but I think only begotten, the King James American Standard is a good rendering. I don't know what the New King James does. Does anyone know what it does? Does it have only begotten?
I can look. See here, let's see.
Well, look at, okay,
The New King James and John 3:16,
well, yeah, John 3:16 is where you're going to look.
his only begotten
Yeah.
son.
Well, I thought the New King James would stay with the only begotten. Some of the modern translations just say only son. And it's monos would be only, monogenes is only begotten. It's a different word than only. Right? Didaskale, what case is that?
Vocative.
Yes, sir. I believe it's vocative case. He's addressing him, isn't he? Okay. All right. Anybody want to add anything in there? All right. Benjamin, I'm going to get you a short one.
Kai idu pneuma lambane auton. I lost my, and behold, a spirit takes him.
So it takes him. What is that passive, active, or middle voice? What is that, lambane? What voice is it?
Active.
It's active voice. I argue it's my claim, and I think I can defend it, that lambano, this is from Lambano, should be translated when it's in the active voice, should be translated take. And when it's in the passive voice, it should be translated receive. Okay? Does that make sense? And the gloss on it, if you look at the gloss is the ways that it's usually translated would be to take or to receive. I think it should be take if it's in the middle or active voice, and it should be receive if it's passive. You're passive in receiving it. That's my argument. Okay. Now there's a passage in John 14. If we have time, we'll go to it after we finish this material right here. When we finish this, there's a in it. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go on. Do you have any questions or comments? And the Spirit takes him. All right. And behold, the Spirit takes him. All right.
I would comment briefly that in some of the translations on the similar verses, they, because it's a spirit, they translate the take as seizes him.
Well, that's self-prompted taking is what that is, and that's what lambano means. And seizing it would be okay. That wouldn't be a problem. I wouldn't have a problem with that because that's still active. The Spirit is active in doing it, and so that's translating it with an active voice meaning. Okay. Any other comments? All right. Are we back to Bobby? Or
No, back to me.
James. Okay, if you will, James.
Kai edeethan ton matheton su ekbalain autokai uk edunethesan. And I translated that as, and he beseeched your disciples to cast it out, and they were not able.
Okay. And they were not able. They didn't have that. They weren't able to do it. Didn't have the power to do it. They were unable to do it. So he beseeched them. Okay.
That's imperfect tense, isn't it?
I think so.
They've continued to try to do it and were not able.
It was okay. So they weren't able. Okay. Any question? That would be continuous action, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're about to get a long one now. Sorry about that.
Okay. Hode Jesus apen o gene apistos kai, and that word there is misspelled. It's diestromene. Heos Poto, Esma, Pros, Humas, Ka, Enetama, Humon. And Jesus said, O unbelieving and perverted generation, how long shall I be with you and bear with you? I just copied that out of the Bible.
Uh,
That word perverse up there, perverted,
yeah.
that's misspelled.
Well, okay. I'm looking at my book and I don't see. Uh,
Let's see here, and that's in Luke 41. 41. Look in the Greek. 41.
looking at my original
Yeah,
book, it doesn't it's spelled that's the way it's spelled in my book.
Well, in Luke 9:41 in the Greek, it's delta iota epsilon.
Okay.
I would agree with that, by the way.
You do agree with that?
Yes, sir.
My book,
Nominative, singular, feminine participle, perfect passive.
my book has an alpha in it, but you're telling me the Greek in the text of Luke 9 has the alpha's not there,
Yes, epsilon.
and so if I delete that alpha right there, does that make it what it has?
Yes, sir.
That should be correct.
Well, we'll go with that, but my regular book, Robert's book that I have, my one that I studied out of back in 1969. It has it spelled the way it was in the book. But it wasn't a difference. But let's go with what's in the text of the Bible. Fair enough. Let's change it. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Back to what you were saying.
With me,
Yeah.
I was through.
Okay.
And Jesus said, and Jesus said, let's see where was, and Jesus said, O faithless, O unbelieving and perverted generation, how long shall I be with you and bear with you?
Okay. How long shall I be with you and bear with you? All right. Any question now? I'm going to save that just to be sure it's right. Okay.
Well, the next one's got one misspelled too.
Okay. All right.
Benjamin gets it.
Benjamin gets it. And he found it's misspelled. What word is misspelled there?
Pro say game the 1, 2, 3, 4. Prosege again. It's
Prosagagain.
there you go. And go. It's the one in the Greek, like it's I think it's what do you want to call it?
What's wrong with it? Again, it's spelled that way in my original book here.
Yeah, it's got too many gammas in it. You got pros, alpha, gamma, n, epsilon, iota.
So you got the pros and alpha, gamma.
Yeah, he's got a too much. The first gamma shouldn't be there. I don't think.
Oh, okay. Is it in the text of the Bible? Have y'all checked that?
Yeah, I looked it up. Luke 9 and verse 41, and it has.
Better talk to me, and we'll correct it.
Yeah.
But my book has it the way it is right here.
Yeah, I know. I have the book too, and I trying to figure that thing out. It just didn't work out.
Okay, go ahead. Read the letters off to me, one of you, somebody.
It's Phi, Rho, Omicron, Sigma, Alpha, Gamma, Epsilon, Iota, Nu.
So this last alpha gamma shouldn't be there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that first Gamma. Yeah, it should be, let me go back. Pro, then Sigma, Alpha, Gamma.
And now epsilon iota nu. Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
correct it and tell me if I got it right. Is that what it should be?
Let me look in. Yes, sir. That's right.
Okay. And if that's what's in the text of the Bible, let's go with that.
It's not in the text in the Bible. This is, in the Bible, it's, prosagage.
Prosagage.
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't get it.
Okay, but we'll go with this because this will work. Okay. This is
Well, I couldn't find that other one. That's the reason.
right.
Well, let's see here.
We'll just change it to that. It'll be all right. That's a word, and I know that'll work. Okay. I probably won't be teaching out of this again anyhow, but we'll make the changes, go with them. Okay. Somebody else might want to use it. Okay. All right. Next one. Bobby was last, and are we back to Benjamin?
But you skipped one. The one that we just corrected, we haven't done yet.
Oh, we haven't done it yet. Oh. Then let me move the cursor.
Yeah, he wanted that small one.
Sure enough.
Well, it is shorter than it looks because there's a parentheses in there to explain one of the words. Okay, so that takes up about a fourth of the line. Okay, so it's
I
not.
just want to be thorough, gentlemen. Kai enetele, enetele, auton, prosogen, ton wion, autu. And he commanded him to bring his son.
Okay. So he commanded him to bring his son. Okay. To bring toward, say, to bring him toward him. Okay. Prosago. Okay. Got that okay? Here's another one. It's got a little explanation in it, so it's not as long as it looks. Okay, go ahead. James, can you do this one?
Yes, sir. Etide pro circumenu autu erexen a regnumi, excuse me, auton to diamonion. And I translated that as yet while he was being approached, the demon broke him or rent him.
Okay. All right. Any questions there? Read him or broke him? You did get a longer one this time. Okay, there, Bobby.
Well, I had all that together, so he's made it short for me. Epitimation de ho Jesus ton pneumatai ton ake sarto kai see a estato ton payday. All right. And let's see if let me go back here. Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit and healed the boy.
Okay, say that again. I'm sorry.
Jesus rebuked the unclean spirit and healed the boy.
Okay. All right. Okay, any questions there? What is a demon in the first place? about that whenever we get through here, okay? All right, go ahead. Back to this next one.
Could James say that his again? I had that all together and I'm trying to fix it. So, but while he approached, that what was being approached. That's what it was.
Yeah, being approached, the devil rent him, or you could say broke him.
Okay, broke him.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right. Back to, I guess we're back to
Me.
Benjamin, I think. Okay, go ahead.
I apedoken auton to patri autou. And he gave him back to his father.
Okay, he gave him back to the father of him to his father. Okay. Anybody got anything to add to that?
No, sir.
Okay. You get the last one here. James.
Okay. Exaplaisonto de pantes epite megaleote ti tu theu, and I skipped the parentheses. Megaleotes and tetos hey. Yeah, I didn't need to read that. I translated that as, and they were all amazed at the greatness of God.
Okay. Anybody got anything else there? All right, we've gone about 35 minutes approximately. Let me see here. You want to do any of these down here? Anybody got them down? Any of these? Text page?
I had a few of them that I wasn't quite sure about. Did you end up doing them, Bobby?
Yeah, I got them and trying to figure out which one it was that's got a misspelled word. 1, 2, 3. It's the one that says Ho Philon Patara Hey Ma Tara. That's supposed to be Mu Theta Tau Epsilon Rho Alpha.
Which number is it? It's got numbers on them.
They don't have. Does it have a number? Oh, wait. Okay, wait just a minute. Let's see. I got to get my.
Can you look on the screen and see which number it is?
Yeah, I didn't put the number there.
Well, on the screen, if you look at the screen, you can see it.
Well, I don't see it. I probably messed something up there. Yeah, I don't have the right one. Oh no, I when you said that was all, no, I don't have those.
Oh, you didn't
It
do
was on the
text
next.
speed?
Yeah, it's on the next one. Is that I said there's a mistake. Yeah, well, let's see, translate them numbers 10. Yeah, okay, yeah, I got those. I worked on them.
Mind if we just go through a few of them together?
Sure.
Number 1.
Let's see, I got sin is not charged being of law.
Yeah, I said sin is not being reckoned, not being of law.
Charge being reckoned. Yeah,
It's
it
like,
could be.
it's like an accountant puts it on your account, or like what that is.
Sin is not being reckoned of law.
Reckoned or put on your account, or you're charged with it, okay?
Okay.
And not being a law. And so there's no law, there's no sin charged to you. You can't be charged with sin.
Why would it be in the
It's kind
regenerative case?
Romans 4 or Romans 5, one of those passages. Romans 4 or Romans 5. Go ahead, James.
I was just asking why it's in genitive. you translate it as not being a law,
not being law of him, not being of law.
not being of law. That's kind of strange in English.
That is a genitive absolute participle.
Right?
That's why I worded it that way, to get it a genitive absolute participle. Let me highlight it. There's your genitive absolute participle.
Yeah, ontos, right. Being, of being.
Yeah, from Amy.
Yes, sir.
Being, sin is not being reckoned of.
It's not exactly the way for it. I think it's chapter 4, verse 15 of Romans. I can look it up right quick. There's chapter 5 also has
5:13.
5:13.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, there's two passages in Romans 4 and Romans 5 that are similar in their wording. They say it a little bit different way. If there's no law, there's no sin. If there's no sin, it can't be sin without a law. And so the people that say we're not under law, there can't be any sin without a law. That's the most ridiculous view of the scriptures I've ever heard. But I've heard people say that, okay? I've even heard some in the church say it, okay? So, oh boy, where'd you come from? Where'd you get that idea? Right? Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, the King James, since I turned over there, he changed that, the charge reckon, he put imputed.
Imputed, King James imputed, same idea. You impute something, you put it on his account.
Okay.
Right. Keep a record of something. I think God has a record in his mind of our sins, and he doesn't hold them against us. He still knows we committed them, but he ceases to hold it against us whenever the blood is applied, whenever we are forgiven. I don't think God forgets anything, but he just doesn't hold it against us anymore. Remembers it no more, remembers our sin no more. He doesn't hold it against us. Right. I don't think he erases his memory. Right. Any questions? All right, number 2, anything there you want to look at?
I didn't have anything until number 4, unless somebody else did.
I didn't.
Same here.
Number 4.
Anyone want to try it?
I got it. As he was speaking these things to them, a ruler approached him and he did worship. I put to him, but that might be wrong. To him.
Okay, let's talk about that. Proskuneo, that's what this is from. Proskuneo. And then we just make this iota to omega, and you'd have proskuneo. Proskuneo takes an object in the dative case. Verbs of serving and worshiping, and 1 or 2 other ideas. But serving and worshiping always take their objects in the dative case. Give worship to. Okay. And he gave worship to him. Okay. And so we just translated worshipped him in English, but literally it would gave worship to him.
Yeah, that's what I put down too.
Read it.
So I said, behold, a ruler coming. He gave worship to him.
Yeah. And we just translated worshipped him, but literally because proskuneo takes a dative object instead of an accusative object. So the worship is given to him. And that makes perfectly good English too, and it's still good English. He gave worship to him. And that help?
A little bit. It's still kind of an awkward sentence.
Well, it's
Okay.
rough, it's kind of rough English, but the Greek words of serving and worshiping, and some, I think praising will take a dative object. And if you could find where the word proskuneo was introduced, it may be introduced in our vocabulary. I don't think so, but I think we've already had it. Yeah.
It's in Matthew 9:18. That word is.
So, but I think in our vocabulary, if you'll find it in the vocabulary, and it'll probably be a little bit earlier, but it'll have it with dative. It'll say with dative, which means it takes a dative object.
Oh,
So it doesn't take its object in the accusative case. Its object is in the dative case. And the verbs of serving would also take their object in the dative case. Give service to someone. Help, worship, and service are two type of verbs. There's another type or two. I'm having a mental block here. I'm sorry, fellas, about helping you there.
it's 80. So the vocabulary 82.
Page 82, or section 82.
82. Yeah, you're right. With dative object, I worship. Okay.
Does that help a little bit?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Section 82. Proskuneo. Okay.
And then number 5, I was curious why the last phrase ton Christon Iesun is in the accusative.
Yeah.
Why?
And they preached the
Which one was that?
Christ's gospel. Yeah. We would normally have Yesu to be in genitive, wouldn't he? The gospel of Christ. They preached.
I said every day in the temple and every house, they did not cease teaching and evangelizing Jesus is the Christ. But it doesn't make sense if it's accusative, though.
Well, what they're preaching is the object of the preaching. Yeah, that kind of rough reading in English, isn't it?
Yeah. What did you get, Bobby?
Well, I put every day in the temple and the houses, they cease not to teach and preach Christ Jesus.
Yeah, same kind of thing.
I looked that word up and it's in Acts 5:42.
So that's right out of the text of the Bible.
Well, I don't know if it's right out of text, but I was gonna make this point. Also, he in his book on vocabulary 128, he says there proskuneo, I worship, may take the dative. So he puts it in there he puts it in there twice in our vocabulary. Roberts does. When I was looking it up.
Well, but verbs of worship and serving normally take their object in the dative case.
Yeah.
Right here, though, let's back to the number 5. I think the preaching, the object of the preaching is Christ Jesus, is the Messiah. He's preaching the Messiah, Jesus. And the Jew would hear that as the Messiah is being preached. The object of the preaching is of this good news, and that's good news, actually. Galenzomai. Galizo. It's an oi. The nominative plural participle. And so, evangelizing. They taught and preached. And it did not cease teaching and preaching and evangelizing and preaching. And the event is evangelizing, actually, but giving the good news of the Messiah, Jesus. I think that was more like what it's saying. It did not cease teaching and giving the good news of the Messiah.
So you even make a genitive by saying of the Messiah, right?
To make it genitive in English to make it make sense, but I understand we're dealing with a different language. Sometimes it gets awkward putting it over in English. But the object of the preaching is about the Messiah, and the Messiah is Jesus.
Well, would it be,
Messiah. The
Would it-
Jews would see the Messiah, and that would be Christ. So the object of the preaching is Jesus, is the Christ, is the Messiah, the Christ, Jesus.
or would it be better to put it literally, like to teach and preach Jesus the Christ?
That would not be wrong,
I just
because what they're teaching and preaching.
Yeah, it's weird because in the accusative, Jesus would be the receiver of the teaching or preaching, right?
Yes.
But he doesn't need our teaching and preaching.
Yeah, but the accusative case can be what they're teaching is the Messiah. And so the whole message that they're preaching about Messiah. And it wasn't about Messiah. It was Messiah was what the preaching is. I think it's preaching that Jesus is Messiah. And I think that's what it's saying. And it doesn't fit into English very good. It's the problem we get into here, I think.
On number 6, I noticed there's an error. Maybe that's what Bobby you were referring to. On Genam menes instead of Gena aenes. Should be a mu. The first word of 6.
Yeah.
The eta should be a mu.
Yeah, the eta should be a mu. Or mu, rather, not mu.
Yep.
It is a move.
Yeah.
I just corrected it. I looked in my text and there's a move in there. Okay. All right.
And then the only one I had left was 7, unless y'all have something.
Hang on a second. It's still okay. All right. Okay, what do you got there?
Said ha autos theos, ha energon ta panta and passing. I said God Himself, the one working, the all in all.
Yeah.
Is that what you got, Bobby, or did you get something different?
I said the same God who works all things in all,
I
or works all in all things.
had a friend in high school who's a member of the church, and he and I ran around together. His dad was a preacher, and he's the same age as me. Actually, he's about 2 months younger than me, but he had trouble in the first grade. He's a country boy, and he had some trouble, so he do repeat that first grade. But anyhow, we had a class well, and the people that made out the well were kidding Jerry and me. And so I wailed, and that wasn't my decision to do it, but my all in all to him, and hoped he could control it. That's what's in our class yearbook. And so you're all in all, the all in all. I just thought of that. That was in our yearbook, and that's the way it was worded, but it's in English, of course. The all in all, it's everything all wrapped up together. Okay.
Is there a,
What you got, Bobby? Sorry.
Oh, let me go back to it.
Sorry.
I put the same God who works all things in all. Or I would could put it the same God who works all in all things.
See, this is accusative right here,
Okay.
and that's plural. All right.
Yeah, these things, he works these things in all things.
You know, and that could be by means of all. It could be that.
Yeah, that's right.
Case.
Yeah.
And the words all would have to be defined by the context. Does that make sense? You have to pick it up from the context. Anything else you want to look at?
I do have a question on number 7.
All right.
The autos, could that be himself?
Yeah.
God himself?
Yeah, the same God. The God himself. The one working the all things in all.
Okay.
That sounds like some. Let's see.
There is a verse in the 14th chapter of John that says, it has lambano in it. And the Spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive. I can't think of what verse it's in, but the word receive there is in the active voice. I think it's saying the Spirit of truth whom the world cannot receive. It should be translated whom the world cannot take. They're going to take me, Jesus, and crucify me, but they can't take this second comforter away from you. Does that make sense? It's
That makes a lot of sense.
and I think it's mistranslated. I believe I have a discussion of that in my Work of the Holy Spirit, but probably in volume 1. I can't remember. Okay. But you can look it up yourself and see it, but it has lambano in it. And it's in the active voice. And receive, I believe, is passive voice. Okay.
What's the verse again?
It's in the John 14th chapter, I think.
13. The
The
verse.
Spirit of truth in the world cannot receive.
Yeah. Okay. 17.
I think it's in 14,
It's 14, 17.
14, 17.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just gonna make a note. Whom the world cannot receive. That's lambano.
Yeah, it's lambano, and it's in the active voice. The world can't take him away from you. Like they're going to take me, they're going to crucify me, and then I'll go to heaven and I'll send him to take my place. He'll guide you into all truth. The world can't take him. They can't touch him.
So that's the take.
The body of flesh.
So you're saying that's supposed to be take, should be take?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was thinking today.
That's my argument. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's start with the next lesson on the aorist passive participle. All right. Syncopated is actually an idea of the sound, something of the sound. All right. So we'll start with lesson 38 next time. We just got about 12 more lessons. All right. So we'll go as long as we can, do as much as we can, then we'll start next semester. We should finish this by the end of next semester. Finish this course sometime thereabouts. And what we'll do is we'll pick up some special Greek material at the end. I'll add a little bit on some other things, some simple stuff to add to fill it out. We may just not have the class after we finish it. Okay, we'll decide. We'll let you decide what you want to do. So we should finish it next semester. Any questions? All right, we'll quit recording.